Good evening, everyone out there in Facebook land and on KXAN Plus, whenever you hear this. It is almost 11 p.m. Central Time here Saturday night, and we just witnessed, we as in Noah Gross and myself, Billy Gates, we just watched Georgia beat the Texas Longhorns 35-10 at Sanford Stadium in Athens, Georgia, in Southeastern Conference play. That puts the Texas Longhorns' college football playoff hopes in jeopardy with 2 weeks left in the season. Noah, let's just get right into it. Georgia put the Longhorns away on just an absolutely masterfully executed sequence at the beginning of the fourth quarter. They score a touchdown. They surprise the entire stadium with an onside kick, recover it, and then they score another touchdown, turning a 14-10 ball game headed to the final frame to a blowout. I mean, just kind of, it's tough to come back from something like that. It's just great execution on Georgia's part.
Yeah, Georgia could feel it as soon as that onside kick worked, to perfection. And you could see there was a shot of Kirby Smart like right before that where he was kind of like, I can't believe we're doing this. And then it worked and it was crazy. And then there was a shot of him celebrating like, I can't believe that worked.
Yeah.
And then it was a shot of the Texas sideline that was deflated. And there was Jeff Banks, the special teams coordinator for Texas, was so angry earlier in the game at some call and was throwing his fist and was so, not like punching somebody, but, very, very angry about it.
It was the holding call on Niblett's 59-yard kick return that got called back.
And then, so you see the emotion from him, Billy. And then at that point, he was just like he was just deflated in that point. Sark was feeling the same thing. So, yeah, that was bad. I will say from a Texas perspective, and we'll get into all this, Arch, I thought, played as well as he can when he scored 10 points in an SEC game. I thought his receivers did not help him many times. Ryan Wingo, for the drop he made on the first drive and maybe one or two others that were catchable, made some really good catches. He had a great leaping grab later in the game and then caught that touchdown, which was a dart from Arch as well. To me, though, and you might have a different opinion on this, and it's probably not this extreme, but I think when Texas fans were watching Quinn Ewers the past couple of years, they're like, man, the line is so good, the defense is so good, the receivers are so good, the running backs are so good. If only Quinn was a little bit better. And then now it's almost like I think Texas fans agree looking back. Maybe Quinn was better than everyone gave him credit for. Now it's like Arch is not that bad, but like the defense is giving up more points than you anticipated. There's no running game. The offensive line is nowhere near where it was last year.
Right.
And the receivers are inconsistent. Yeah. So it's like, the quarterback balance is one thing, but around him, it's just nowhere near as good as it was last year.
Sure. I think fans got so spoiled with last year's offensive line. They were so good. Yeah. Like guys like Kelvin Banks, Jake Majors, all those guys that are now playing professional football. That core guys, they were together for so long. They got really good chemistry together. To expect this year's offensive line to replicate that sort of kind of performance, chemistry, camaraderie, however you want to describe it, that is tough to ask for. This offensive line has gotten better, but they're still not at the level that they need to be in to consistently win SEC games. I think anybody who watches football as close as we do, or even not as closely as we do, can figure that out. Arch Manning played pretty well, like you said. 27 of 43, 251 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. The interception really didn't end up hurting Texas in the long run. They were able to force a 3-and-out, get the ball back within about a minute or so of that turnover. Manning's touchdown was a 7-yard pass to Ryan Wingo. Ryan Wingo had 9 catches for 62 yards on 13 targets, though. So you want to see those targets and number of receptions a little bit closer together for your main guy. They have him down for 1 drop. I had him down for 2. I think he should have caught that deep pass there early in the game, but I'm just some guy. So, but yeah, you talk about this defense, Noah. What was seen as the team's biggest strength going into the game, or going into the season, excuse me, these past 3 games or so, they've given up a lot of points.
Yeah, and it's a number of different things. It's coverage breakdowns that happened, as Sark said, against Vanderbilt in the second half when the Commodores just dominated that second half. It's missing open field tackles. Not to single out too many guys, but Leung Lafau had that. Michael Taff has had that earlier this season. He struggled against Florida. It just is not the same efficiency they've played with before. I will say there's some guys that have been outstanding. Colin Simmons has been great in the SEC as of late, although he had that really costly offside penalty tonight on the second fourth down Georgia went for in that late third quarter, early fourth quarter drive. But yeah, the defense isn't that unit where you were kind of thinking earlier in the season, no matter what the offense is doing, they know the defense will be there and keep them in games where, you know, it was kind of spiraling away from Texas early in the fourth quarter, but I'm sitting there watching and thinking, okay, you know, I kind of believe in this Texas offense a little bit. I think they could score 2 touchdowns if the Texas defense held them, but then it just totally spiraled out of control, and then Georgia scored 3 touchdowns in that fourth quarter as well. So the defense is not where it needs to be because the offense is not at that elite level, and the defense needs to be better. I will say, we talked about the running game. A lot of things expected from C.J. Baxter this year. Injuries have certainly just hampered him.
I wouldn't say hampered. I'd say just derailed. Like, just bad.
I mean, how good was he his freshman year?
So good.
And then he didn't play at all last year because of a knee injury. Tonight, 1 carry for 3 yards.
Yeah.
That, to me, is... and I'm not blaming him because he fought through a lot of injury this year. But it's just Texas was able to fight through that running game issues last year and do enough. They're not this year.
No, and I think part of that, though, it ended up being they were playing from behind for most of the game. Yeah. So Sarkisian was forced to, go to the air, more than he would like to. I don't think, even though he was quite the prolific quarterback in his day, a college football BYU, I don't think he wants Arch Manning to throw the ball 43 times a game.
No, and run for negative 17 yards.
Right, yeah. I mean, that's with the sack yardage and stuff, but still, your point remains there. But it's this defense that has kept Texas in games, all throughout Steve Sarkisian's tenure, really, except the 5-7 season that they had his first year. It's just not. It's not happening, and now they're at full strength, theoretically. They had a clean injury report. Michael Taff was back. Jelani McDonald was back. Xavier Filsaime was back. So they have their full complement of guys, but they just kind of looked a step slow, especially in the secondary. Gunnar Stockton, Georgia's quarterback, had a career day, career high 4 touchdown passes, added another touchdown rushing there late to turn, again, a 4-point game going into the fourth quarter, turn it into a blowout, turn it into a 35-10 win for the Bulldogs. Stockton goes 24 of 29, 229 yards, 4 touchdowns and a pick. So, not as many yards as Manning, but very, very efficient Gunnar Stockton. That's been his MO all season.
Couple things. One, I also wanted to say defensively, I thought Ty Anthony Smith had a very good game as
well. Yes, great
game. He had one drive in particular where he had like 2 TFLs in a row. So I thought he was good.
Yeah. I think 9 total tackles, led the team, Ty Anthony Smith.
Led the team. I think Sark, they were saying earlier in the broadcast, like Sark was saying, I got to have something up my sleeve in this game. I got to save some plays for the second half because Georgia is so good. He got out-coached in this game. I think, I haven't listened to the post-game press conference. I think he would probably admit that. I thought Georgia was more aggressive. They played like the hungrier team, not just the onside kick, but going for 4th down, things like that. And also, Texas is, it's weird to say they're out-talented in a game like this when they're healthier and everything like that. But it looked like that. And because Georgia was banged up defensively a little bit. And also, I would say...
KJ Allen went out of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say there were so many plays offensively for Georgia. When they needed it, they got it. And it was like those perfect play action or a guy comes in motion and sweeps through. And it just looked like Texas had no chance to stop it. And then if I'm a Texas fan, I'm watching that and saying, okay, why can't Texas run something like that? And they do, and it's just not as crisp.
Sure.
So to me, that screams... that team's not ready for that big-time level moment. And just watching these games, Billy, it's just the team is not the same level as they were a season ago. And you don't want to compare it like that, but it's just I mean, how many games this year have they played a whole complete good game? One against
One
Georgia?
maybe.
I mean, against
Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Well, even that.
Against
Even
OU,
Oklahoma, yeah.
It was a good second half. So, like,
Yeah.
this whole season, as we get into the big picture stuff, it's kind of like, yeah, they have a good record and they've been in a lot of games, but if you just look at the games, I still don't know how good they are.
Sure, yeah. No, and that's fair. I mean, because really, that first half against Oklahoma wasn't very good. Second half, great. You look at games like Kentucky, Mississippi State,
Bad.
Vanderbilt. Those games were erratic. Like you might be able to have one complete game from all three of those games combined.
That'd be one really good game.
Yeah, that would be one really good game. So it's just one of those things where you're just not getting this, college football playoff semifinal team 2 consecutive years. You're not getting them for a full game, and which, I mean, is that reasonable to expect? Probably not, because college football is really hard. It's hard to replicate awesome years back to back to back. I mean, that just kind of tells you how good Nick Saban was. That tells you how good Kirby Smart is.
Look at Clemson. They're awful this year.
They're not very good. And that's falls on Dabo Swinney. That falls on a lot of the administration there at Clemson. But it's the same type of deal. It's like Texas isn't in that dire straits. They're not in the same boat as Clemson. They're not in the same boat as Penn State or anybody. But there is a regression. Like, that's obvious. And we were talking about this during the game. If Texas could have lost this game close, if they could have kept it maybe 14-10, lose, or like 21-17, something like that, they could win over the CFP committee enough that if in 2 weeks they beat A&M, that maybe they would get in that large bid to the CFP. Now you lose by, 25 points. I don't know if a win against Texas A&M will even get you back in.
I agree, and I think the thing is, coming into this game, I was doing a hit for our SEC Plus show, and they were asking me about Texas.
Yeah.
And I said, I think unequivocally, you could say, no matter what happens in this game against Georgia, Texas is going to be, at the end of the season, one of the 12 best teams in the country. Not that that's thrown out the window, but I don't think you could say that with certainty after watching what happened tonight.
Yeah.
I was kind of sipping the Kool-Aid after the Vanderbilt game. I'm like, Arch Manning played his best game. The defense just had a bad half, and a guy slipped on that coverage breakdown. But, and it's hard to just flip-flop that hard.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like we were talking about before, I don't know where this team is right now.
Right.
Arkansas is having a really tough year, but, like, everyone's like, well, if they beat Arkansas and they beat A&M, then they have a shot. Maybe, but, like,
yeah,
I don't think they're going to beat A&M. A&M is a very good team, and, I mean, clearly, and Texas has not, in these close games this year against really good competition, they haven't been able to close. It was a 4-point game that heading into the fourth quarter, totally got away from them.
Yep.
Yeah, it was the onside kick. Ohio State, they got there and were getting close, weren't able to close. Florida, they were trying to fight back, weren't able to close. It's the same thing. So in Oklahoma, they were, but the game was kind of out of hand like midway through the fourth quarter, and they were in front. There's no way that A&M game, they're just going to dominate and be out in front the whole time. That's a feisty team with A&M that's so talented.
No, you asked South Carolina about that.
Yeah.
That was one of the craziest games I've ever seen. Your A&M's down. Sorry, pardon the A&M talk for all the UT fans out there. However, I mean, something's got to be said about coming back from a 30-3 deficit in one half of football to win 31-30. That was quite the display from the Texas A&M Aggies. They're going to be coming to Austin in 2 weeks on Black Friday for the Lone Star Showdown to end the regular season. And that's probably going to put Texas in the Gator Bowl.
Yeah,
or the Cheez-It Bowl or something. I
love Cheez-Its.
Grant, I do too. Big fan. Do you like the original ones, the extra toasty ones? Like, where do you lie on the Cheez-It spectrum?
Whichever ones they have free for us in the snack drawer.
Okay, nice. Well, they have both of those, turns out, and extra cheesy as well.
Nice.
But I'm not into that.
Okay.
Anyway, still, we kind of got off track there. Next week, Texas hosts Arkansas. They're at home for the next 2 weeks to end the regular season. That's going to be a 2:30 start. They just confirmed that start time with the broadcast partners. Noah, did you catch a channel on that?
I did not.
ESPN, ABC, something like that?
We can say NBC, even though it's not going to be NBC.
Even though it's
we can
not.
say watch KXAN.
It's not. I mean, we could. Let's see. Let's see if the schedule here has it updated. I have a feeling it's going to be either ABC or ESPN. It's ABC. So, Saturday, November 22nd against Arkansas, 2:30 p.m. Central on ABC here in Austin, DKR. And then the next week, November 28th, Friday, Black Friday, the Friday after Thanksgiving, is the Lone Star Showdown with Texas A&M. That's a 6:30 start time. So, we have that to look forward to. Just to recap, Texas loses to Georgia 35-10. They drop to 7-3 overall, 4-2 in the SEC, and they've got quite the climb to make it to another college football playoff. So that'll be it for this episode of Instant Analysis.
Your voice is hanging out.
I know, man. I'm ready to go home.
Yeah,
I'm ready to go home.
it's late.
For Noah Gross, I'm Billy Gates. Thanks for watching. We appreciate you, and we'll talk to you again soon.